Hey everyone, welcome back to Poplar Ridge. Today is the start of a long weekend for me. I actually have this upcoming Monday off, and I have quite a few plans around the farm this weekend. And if you're anything like me, you probably know something about having more projects than time, and that's the case for me around here as well. I have a lot of mowing and brush hogging to do. I've got firewood that needs done, and just some general cleanup of the property before winter sets in. And we are on our way into fall. You might be able to see some of the fall colors in the trees behind me back here. The temperatures are up and down as they are in Ohio in the fall season. But I've already got the tractor running, it's warming up, the brush hog is attached, and I'm ready to get going here for a few hours. This is one of our two larger fields back behind me back here. I've mowed it one time this season. I'm trying to really knock down the broom's edge that grows in this field typically. And one way to do that is to mow it. It does not like to be mowed or to be trampled. And so I've mowed it once and it really did knock it back well. What you see, that the brown looking grass behind me, is actually purple top tridents, which is different than broom's edge. So that's actually a quality forage. I don't have ruminant animals on this field yet, so one way I keep the pastures better is to mow them. Not too often, but just enough to put that carbon material back into the soil, help build the soil, fertilize, but while I'm waiting to add some animals to the farm. So we also have another large field that actually you might have seen on some other videos, but it hasn't been mowed in 2 years. So this one's been mowed once this year, and that one has not been mowed in 2 years. So I want to get some mowing done this weekend, and then there's another section, little cleared out section in the woods I want to knock down, because one of our projects, if you watched our farm update video, the project with all the pipe is going to be taking place in that area. So I want to start there and then probably move to this field. So I got a lot of work to do today. Let's hop to it. So I thought this might be a good opportunity to show you the two different grasses that I was referring to earlier in the video. This is purple top tridens. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but it looks a lot like Johnson grass, but it's not Johnson grass. This is actually pretty palatable to cattle and sheep, as I understand. I may be incorrect on that. I'm not a grass expert or a pasture expert by any means, but I did look this up whenever it showed up out here. So it's supposed to be a decent forage. And then this is broom's edge, and it is basically worthless. There's a little tiny bit of forage that grows down here that could be palatable to cattle at some points in the year, as I learned from Greg Judy, but all this stem up here is basically worthless. Unfortunately, as I'm mowing this, I'm releasing millions of seeds, although some of this hasn't fully gone to seed yet, but it does not like to be mowed and kept short. It wants to be tall, and so I want to keep mowing and keep putting nutrients back down into the ground, because broom's edge shows up in pastures where either it's been hayed repeatedly, so you're taking the nutrients off the soil and removing it, or it's just lacking in fertility, so it's not very good soil, which I knew was the case here anyway. So mowing puts some carbon and some nitrogen and things back into the soil, At some point we may have to lime this field if we really want to get it going, but for right now, until we get some animals, I'm just trying to keep the pasture maintained and keep multiflora rose and autumn olive and some of these other invasive species out of here. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you that real quick. Let's get back to mowing. almost 5 gallons, probably 4 gallons. Took forever. Well, welcome back to day 2 of brush hogging. I had to make a run into town for some diesel fuel anyways, and this battery has been bad for some time now, and I've been jump starting it every time I need to start this tractor, which is not ideal because if you need to turn it off in the field for some reason, you can't restart it without jumping it. So I went ahead and bought a new one. We're just going to get it installed real quick. We've already fueled up. All we need to do is make the connections here, check our oil in the gearbox of the brush hog, and we'll be ready to go. Well, let me show you a couple things I found out after a full day brush hogging with this new rotary cutter. Well, new to me. I just picked this up this year used. This is the first time I've used a unit with a slip clutch, and it has a shear pin or a bolt that goes between the slip clutch collar and the actual shaft that's coming out of the gearbox. So this bolt right here sheared completely off. even though I have a slip clutch. And I do know the slip clutch is working, it's turning, it's not froze up or rusted solid. So you do have to be careful about that, but I did smack a stump pretty good with this and sheared the pin right off, so the slip clutch didn't catch it fast enough. But that's okay, it's a pretty simple fix, but obviously you can't mow when that bolt is not in there, because this PTO shaft will turn, but it's not gonna, it's just gonna slip on this, the color is gonna slip on the shaft and not actually turn your blade. So I was about 10 or 20 minutes from being done, and I have to stop because I don't have a bolt that'll fit through there. You can tell this one's been whacked on multiple times before. If you look real close at that, you can see it's taken a beating. It's bent, it's got some marks and places in there where you can just tell something solid has hit it, and it finally had enough and broke off on me there. So anyway, we'll get another one. Let me take you down here and show you something else I found. Alright, here's the second thing I found. Sorry, by the way, if you can hear the mower running in the background. My son's mowing grass. But right out in here, may be hard for you to see, but there are thousands of yellow jackets flying around, swarming. And stumps and yellow jackets are the two things in Ohio that you want to watch out for when brush hogging, and I found both. They did get me, just one of them, but I'm gonna get them back when they calm down and it's evening and they've gone back into the hole. I will take care of this. I am pretty glad I found this when I did, because just a few, maybe 30 yards from where we are, my kids' playhouse is right there. So I'm glad we found it, but it was a painful process, but we will get them taken care of, but they gotta stop swarming around before I can do that. So I did not finish this little section right here yet, because that's where the yellow jackets are. I didn't want anything to do with that spot right over there, so I just avoided this whole section until I can get them killed. But the field's looking pretty good. Up and around this corner, past that little point right there, is all I had left to do. Probably, like I said, 10-20 minutes worth. But we're close. I'll get another bolt and get it finished up. I do think that some of these videos might hopefully show you just how much this slopes off. When you're out here, and really I'm trying to show you this so that you know why we call this the ridge, Poplar Ridge. So when you're down here and you're looking, the tree line down in there is probably 30 yards, maybe, if that, but it's probably a good 20 feet in some places. Down in this section down in there, it's actually probably lower than that, but it's probably 20 feet lower than where I'm standing. So if you think about like these trees here, so in these trees in this section, if you were 18, 20, 25 feet up in some spots, you'd be eye level with me with where I'm standing. So it can start to feel kind of tippy on the tractor in some places, but that's just the nature of southeastern Ohio and the hills that we have. They're beautiful, and we love them, but it does make it difficult for working animals and for running the tractor, and especially these steeper hillsides like this. So I'm going to walk down here and show you what we had left to go. So this back corner is all we had left to mow. Like I said, probably 10-20 minutes of mowing is all I had left up here, other than where the yellow jackets were. And down in there it starts to slope off and drop just like the other side I was just showing you. So I was pointing the other way before, but it does slope off quite a bit down that way too. And of course, these tree lines is not the lowest that is in these ravines and stuff. It goes much lower as you continue on out. This is just one of the 2 ridge tops here on the farm. I really love this area down in here. I'll have to take you down there sometime, but it's nice and shady, and there's some pretty trees, poplar trees and different things in there. So it's a beautiful day out here today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video so far.